Hey everyone, we're back with a little bit more Harmony the Fall of Reverie. You might remember that about a month ago, we took a first look at Chapter 1 of Act 1 of this game. So the full game's out now, and I played a little bit ahead, and I realized that what I showed before probably wasn't really representative enough of what the whole game's gonna be like, because we just didn't get that far in yet. So I thought I would do another video, at least making it to the end of this act, so that I can share a bit more with you. If you haven't seen it, you would definitely need to go back to that first video for context. Last time we finished off Act 1 in Chapter 1. At the very end of the chapter, I remember we made a choice between bliss and power, and it had to do with my friend Nora asking me, oh, should I go apply for a job with Monoconcern, which is like the big, I guess, evil corporation in the city here? And we were struggling between, oh, should we tell her she should go for it, or should we tell her, no, it's probably evil, don't do it. And I ended up saying go for it, because I didn't think I knew enough about the corporation to say no. And it's not like we can't quit later on, right? So, yeah. This time, Act 1, Chapter 2. Familiar face, foreign emotion. Laszlo's expecting me, maybe more than anyone else is. Laszlo was Nora's grandfather, I think? Now, we're not really directly blood related. Revelations unveil nodes still invisible to Polly on the augural. See the links extending from the icon? They point to the nodes that will be revealed. Okay, so this is a special kind of thing then. The consequences of doing this is revealing 2 nodes in the future. Can we check it out? Oh, that's really far. That's like at the very end there, my goodness. Well, okay. Seamus Creek. In Atina. I look up at the sky, the clouds floating by, obscuring the newly revealed stars. Familiar, but unknowable. Beautiful, but ever-changing.
I came out here for like 2 hours last week.
I believe it.
They suck you in, don't they? Especially when the sea's calm and you can see them reflected down there.
I look over at her, neck craned upwards, a half smile on her lips. She seems calmer. I'm glad. Oh, right after we had to talk about Monoconcern. Seamus Creek, unfortunately, Alma's only public beach, has been closed since the 90s. Oh, how are we here then? Because of the toxic water that's dumped into our sea, swimming on this side of the island is strictly forbidden. Since the Green Hills Agreement of 2026, Monoconcern has been hard at work to rid our coasts of pollution. Oh, interesting. It's confident that it will be able to clear our beaches by the end of the decade. A brand new water park near Seamus Creek will create new job opportunities. Construction on the park should be completed just as our shores are reopened to the public. Oh, so for financial reasons then? When I read the first part, I was like, oh, okay, that sounds like they're really environmentally friendly. They're helping the earth. But so that they could build a new water park? But again, is that such a bad thing? At least they're doing the first part, I feel like.
All right. Time to rip off the bandage. Let's go see Laszlo.
I'll be at your side.
I know you will.
She lowers her gaze from the heavens to look me in the eye.
You haven't seen him the last few days? Full-on denial. It's killing me to see him like this.
About my mom being gone?
Sounds rough. But we'll find a way. Right? Even if we have to outdrink him with his own imported beers.
That wins me another smile, clearer this time.
They are so expensive. And I'm broke, just so you know.
Don't worry, I know. It's okay, we can enjoy beer. No one buys beer because it's expensive and nice. We walk through the streets of our childhood, laughter bouncing off the old familiar walls. We chat as we go. We're sad that one store is closed, amazed that another has managed to stay open. We laugh, a godsend considering the circumstances. But the further we walk, the worse the flickers get. Bond's Estuary. Estuary. Hey, if nothing else, the place we live in is pretty damn nice. Oh, because it's not where we live in, not exactly. Images of other places, impossible places. Reverie. Birds flutter about my head, phasing in and out of reality, and a kindly voice calls my name. And then he's there, in front of me.
Greetings. Did I startle you?
Bond. Hello?
Where am I? Who are you? Another aspiration?
Exactly. I'm Bond. My siblings keep forgetting about me. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
He's doing some cat's cradle Bond thingy. The kindest of all aspirations, Bond is a connection between all things and strength in numbers. Selfishness is a foreign concept to Bond. He lives through the eyes and feelings of others. Bond was once a multitude, but resigned himself to becoming a single being for the convenience of other aspirations. What does that mean? Once a multitude? This is mainly because he needs them to exist and forge the connections on which he thrives. Communication between the aspirations has greatly improved thanks to Bond, and he introduced the concepts of equality and inclusivity to dreams. Selfishness is a foreign concept. Sounds great on paper, but I feel like sometimes you do need to be selfish.
No. I guess I'm getting used to it. I feel at home, somehow.
Naturally. My path is one of community, friendship, and empathy. My mangrove forest is a place of warmth and safety.
His voice is echoing.
And I am an excellent host.
You hear that? Is it because of the forest?
The journey before you, Harmony, is one with many roads and even more destinations. I am here to guide you towards those that lead to understanding, not conflict.
I know this won't be as simple as that, unfortunately.
Oh, you mean your mother. I know you will find a way to see eye to eye with her.
She's missing. I'm not arguing with her. Are you saying that we won't see eye to eye on purpose? Fat chance, but sure. Let's pretend that's even remotely possible.
I don't wish to keep you. Before you go, I have but one piece of advice. Remain mindful of others. Then your journey may be one of discovery, not destruction.
Remember, this is the Fall of Reverie. Now we're back to reality. But not quite yet. Let's try to stock up some of the codexes, because they come up pretty often right now. I don't want to keep interrupting the conversation too much. Bond's Marsh, the once vibrant, thriving jungle, has been quiet for a few cycles now. Wrapped in shadows, swarms of life forms live and multiply. Life forms? Bond knows each and every soul and secret that dwells within this boundless marsh, and he cares for them all. His mind swims through their energy, breeding new lives each day. Although this cosmos has lost much of its vital energy, Bond kindly watches over it like a shepherd, welcoming vagrant dreams as well. Seems like a nice— oh, maybe that was a sanctuary then. It was, because it's sanctuary here. Now we know too. Bliss's egg. Bond's marsh. Laszlo's bar. Before I can reply to this newest aspiration, I blink and I'm back on Athena.
Turns out he wasn't even talking to me. Can you believe it? What an idiot. Well, we're here.
She's right, Laszlo's bar. I give her a reassuring nudge, and we head to the counter. The place hasn't changed at all, except it's a little messier. A lot messier, in fact. But the rest— the ramshackle seating, the sticky counter, the rumble of the tram line overhead. This place always felt like a second home to me. Kind of reminds me of places like Seattle, like an overhead train going. And there, tending bar.
Polly, you're here. I'm so glad you're finally here.
Laszlo. He leaves the counter and comes over. Before I can react, he's grabbed me in a bear hug. My phone jams up into my ribs, and I force a smile.
My word, it's good to see you, Polly. You look like a strong breeze would knock you over. Are you eating? Here, look, I've got snacks behind the bar.
Nora rolls her eyes. She wasn't wrong. His smile is too wide, his voice a bit too loud. Laszlo's a jolly fellow, But this is a bit too jolly for the situation. Why? Because he's nervous. He's trying to cover up his discomfort by forcing normality. Several objective nodes have been revealed. It will be impossible to gather the crystals required to complete both objectives. You will have to make a decision. Will you follow Bliss's path or Bond's instead? Bliss and Bond aren't directly in conflict, are they? The concepts, I mean. Okay, so Bliss would be, you haven't seen each other for a while, for ages, take it easy, serious stuff can wait. I don't know about that. Hold off for now. Okay, so ask Nora about Laszlo, or hold off for now. Ask would be, Bond says, a family tree is a fragile thing, be careful how you handle it, Harmony. It is. Every family, you don't know how people... You meet someone, you don't know what their family is like, okay? They could have a lot of problems with their family, or not. We don't know. Laszlo finally talks to Nora. Laszlo opens up to his friends. Oh, okay, so we already know which one is associated with which. Yes. Bliss will be Laszlo finally talks to Nora. Laszlo's hiding his emotions. You need to strengthen his bonds with the people he loves. What? But then you're the Bliss option. So the Bond option is someone goes away and the community falls apart. Bring it back together. Let it heal in unity. I would like Laszlo to open up to Nora because Nora is like his granddaughter, his friends. Between the two, I would prefer him talk to Nora, but if you ask me the immediate decision down there, how do I go back down? Not like that. Hold up. Like I have my notifications open right now. I forgot how to get out of it, but the decision down there, I would prefer the Bond option. Putting off stuff? I don't know about that. Laszlo's Bar. One of the numerous bars built under tram lines in the early 70s, run by a colorful bartender for over 20 years, it's earned quite the reputation. Under City Council's community enhancement program, tiny bars such as this one flourished around Atena's tram stations. However, they slowly disappeared in the tens and were replaced by larger automated multi-story breweries. This bar is among the last of its kind, importing beverages from neighboring islands and coasts. Much like Laszlo himself a bit, huh? Like an aging... Not in a bad way, but you know. It's just people getting left behind by the times. Okay. I need to figure out how to close the notification. I forgot. Oh, there you go. So maybe this is the kind of thing that's gonna happen then, because the choice that you want to make immediately might clash with the one that you want at the end. And because we can see into the future, we start worrying about these things. I think, at least for now, I think I'm gonna follow what my gut says. Ask Nora about Laszlo. Hold off. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we're not gonna be able to get both objectives, but is the very first choice going to decide the course of my entire tree? Or do we get a little bit of wriggle room later on? Hold off or ask? Okay, let's ask. I don't know. Even Bond says it's fragile though, so maybe even Bond says don't ask. That's kind of what it feels like, but I'll do it anyway. Laszlo bustles off to grab some unneeded snacks, sending an errant beer bottle skittering across the cobbles.
What's up with him?
He's been like this ever since Ursula disappeared. It's unbearable. He pretends everything's fine, like she's gonna waltz through the door any minute. Whenever I bring it up, he gets angry. So, I stopped. He has his own way of showing his feelings, I guess.
It sounds like we're not really getting to know each other that much then. We're just staying away because it seems like Laszlo wants us to stay away. Cheers and worries. Something's afoot with Laszlo. Something besides Ursula's disappearance. Not just that. With Laszlo fussing about behind the counter, Nora smiles and goes over to chat with some regulars. There are a few faces I recognize, names bubbling up from the fog of forgotten memory. Laszlo's friends. They look older, shrunken almost. Snippets of conversation drift my way. It's not been the same these last few days. What's wrong with him? I turn my head away. I don't need to hear anymore. They're worried too. I need to do something. And so, choosing this has led us on this side automatically of the tree. This is an inevitable node. You have no choice but to play this type of node when it becomes available. I can't skip past it, I have to do it. Lazo leads the conversation. He's a pro at avoiding serious subjects. No choice but to listen to him for now. So other choice. Maybe we wouldn't have to do this if we went the other way, if we didn't try to push it. I try to strike up a conversation with him, but he immediately launches into a discussion of Alma's politics and the price of importing beer. I let him do the talking. Feels good to hear him talk about mundane things.
Did Nora tell you about the storm a while back?
I've seen pictures. How bad was it?
Bit of flooding around the island, but the walls held and the roof barely leaked at home. Nora helped board up the bar. We had a good laugh at all the drowned drones the next day. Spotted some MK folks trying to scoop them up before they floated out to sea.
Competitive drone fishing.
He smiles, and his face relaxes somehow.
The sport where nobody wins.
Mono concern is massive here. Now we get to pick again. A helping hand. Lazo needs support even if he won't admit it. Why won't you show him the way? Support your friends. Or? Bliss says, take him for a walk. If he's too shy, give him some privacy. That's true. Maybe the issue is that there's a million people here right now and he's working. If we were at home, maybe it would be a little bit better. Last time when we ended off, I had the concern that, oh, what if we end up somehow not having enough crystals for both? I don't think that's gonna be able to happen, so maybe I'll just choose what I want. Okay, if he doesn't want to talk about it in front of people, let's get him alone first. But oh man, that changes everything. And we won't get to see it. That's the thing, we won't get to see it. Oh, hold on, you can't get to see it. Based off the heading, you can talk about the Naiads, which is where we live, but it means that you don't get Lazo speaks about MK. If you get Lazo speaks about... where's Lazo speaks about... this one. Oh, wow, okay, and then you... If you talk about change, then Lazo doesn't talk about Ursula. Or if you go this way, ask him about Nora. Warn him about denial. Be gentle. Being aggressive or like a gentle reminder. I don't know which one he needs right now. Maybe a gentle reminder would be good because he seems... I don't know. Well, this is so much to think about. This is complicated. Obviously, if they're on the same horizontal row, then if we pick one, then we can't pick the other ones, obviously. But choosing this one actually takes away this one in the future as well. We gotta go down one straight line. How many do we need? We need 2 bliss crystals, I see. So we have 1 bond right now, but whatever we do here is gonna force us down the next one so that we get 2 at the minimum, probably. Okay. I'm not a fan of trying to game the future that much, so I'll just look at the headings and see which one I want. Ask him about how he feels. Ask him about change. The Naiads. It seems more like a distraction, but... I kind of want to be gentle, so I'll go for this one then. Ask him about how he feels. So this one then. Take him for a walk. This is gonna be tough. Lazo's open and generous, but when it comes to his feelings, not so much. It could be hard to get through to him. I wait until he's busy with a customer to talk to Nora.
Okay, I've got a plan.
Tell me.
His friends are here. You're here. There's no way I'm getting him to open up in this place.
But if you took him on a little walk somewhere...
Exactly.
I knew there was a reason we called you back. Polly and her brilliant ideas.
She leans over the bar and grabs a soda, popping it open and hoisting it in cheers.
Good luck.
Laszlo's hands, wrapped in a rag, smooth the fabric around and around the inside of a pint glass. I thought he was fixing snacks. He's so distracted. I touch him gently, and he flinches. Pain and turmoil flash across his face, but then he catches himself and the plastic smile returns.
Come on. Let's take a walk.
What do you mean? You just got here. And the bar.
Nora can watch the bar for a few minutes. Come on. Just around the block. I want to see how it's changed.
He stares glassy-eyed into space before returning to the here and now. Nodding, he ever so gently places a glass on the counter. A few moments later, we're strolling arm in arm. I can feel the tension in his grip, in his stride. But I can get through to him. I know I can. Oh wow, last time we were still in the beginning introduction section, but even in Act 2, or as Chapter 2, we're already immediately getting so many choices that we keep coming back to the augural. Revocation! The X means that it's gone. It's gonna trigger the taking back of a choice. Or the removal of a choice, I should say. It'll block access to the other nodes forever! They love that word. Select a node with a revocation to see the nodes that will be blocked. Yeah, I think we got the gist of it. So selecting this side means that this is all gone. And then selecting this one means that we cannot... So it's actually linear, really. It says choose one of two, but it takes away the next one. But that's not always the case, I guess is the implication here. Let's ask. How you feeling, Laszlo? We wander a while longer. Neither of us says a word. But enough is enough. I decide a bold move is the right one.
How are you, Laszlo? With everything. Ursula.
Personally, okay, I don't know if everyone's like that, but if I'm trying to hold it together, the moment someone says, "How are you doing? Are you doing okay?" to me, that's my breaking point, and I feel like that's when I start spilling.
Oh, you know. It is what it is.
Not for him just yet. He beams an uncanny megawatt smile.
I came here such a long time ago, I sometimes forget how complicated life was before.
We slow and stop. He unhooks his arm from mine. The scene below is beautiful, the rising moon floating above a motionless sea.
On a Tina, it sometimes feels like you could just go for a swim and let your problems dissolve in the ocean.
I know the feeling.
I know you do. You're from this place, after all.
Be gentle. He's avoiding it. Just push a little bit more. Oh, wait. Push, okay? Don't not push. You gotta push a little bit. That's the only choice I can make. I can't do anything else. Warning him? I don't like how it sounds like a threat. We stare out across the water, not moving, hardly breathing. The air is surprisingly still, but the smells of the approaching night wash over us. Lamb, spices, cigarettes. Oh no, thinking about it. Can I go back to the augural right now? Maybe not right now, but maybe this is gonna be a little bit too gentle. I do want to push a little bit.
How are you? Really?
He sighs, and a deep exhalation tinged with sleepless nights and fear. When it's done, he stands unmoving, head cocked to the sky. Just as I'm about to ask again, he relents.
Honestly, Polly, I'm relieved.
That's not what I was expecting.
Sounds terrible, doesn't it? I knew something was up. She was acting strangely at home. Like when you were young. Not enough for me to say anything. You know how she gets. But different. Something was definitely coming.
He smiles weakly. That's all I'm getting for now. But it's enough. He takes my arm again, and we head back to the bar. Something I really like about the sprites so far is that they account for the darkness. So the sprites, you can see that the people are standing in the dark, and the colors reflect that appropriately. May the sun return soon. It's been a long day, but there are still some things that need to be said. Night has fallen. The place is almost empty, apart from Laszlo's friends and a phone browsing Nora. A lot of texts. I'm curious, but it's not my place to investigate. At least not now.
It has been a day.
You see what I mean? There's lights here, so the sprites are a little bit brighter.
Definitely a day.
Tomorrow's creeping up on us already.
He nods his head at me, but this time it's genuine. There's a faint sparkle in his eyes. His armor isn't gone, but the straps have loosened. It's a start. Yeah, we didn't really get too much out of him, but it takes everyone a little while. For everything, I guess. Those are our objectives. Okay, wow, that was a fast chapter, actually. Well... Actually, we only have 2 bliss crystals, so... Our previous decisions already set in motion what we'll pick by the end. Laszlo opens up to Nora. By the time the last of the regulars shuffle off, I'm about ready to collapse onto the very cobbles below me. Nora hefts the remaining chairs up and into the storage locker. I make a token effort, but I'm exhausted. More hindrance than help. When we're done, Laszlo reaches up to close the shutter and freezes. He turns, looks Nora dead in the eye.
Nora, sweetheart,
He takes a step toward her.
I'm so sorry. We're broke. Flat broke. The Naiads... We've run out of track. I don't know what else to do.
Run out.
Money's tight, Polly. Very tight. I can't keep that from you any longer. And now that now she's disappeared, I don't know what to do. And I'm scared.
Nora takes a moment to absorb the information, a multitude of emotions flashing across her face. Especially in this situation, I think telling her to get the job at Monoconcern, at least applying there, probably was the right move. We need to eat. You can't worry about anything else if you don't have enough to eat. Then, without saying a word, she crosses to her grandfather and the two embrace. There's no crying, no words, just 2 people alone against the world. No, not 2. Not anymore. 3. 4 after we find our mom. The objectives node may generate consequences that impact the later chapters of the story. Oh, fantastic. This will give you access to entire branches of the future and cut you off from others. Oh, I'm sorry, I just skipped past that last notification. We'll have to... I'll look back at it in editing. Well, that was a short chapter, actually. Yeah, shorter. Because of the choices you made with dealing with Laszlo, you made great progress towards an outcome. You've chosen the path laid out before you by an aspiration, but the future might still be in your hands. The future might still be in your hands, but it's largely decided. Is that what you're saying? Outcomes may have greater consequences than objectives. Will you stay on the same path? Or would you rather change the course of the future? I would rather just make choices without too much of considering which one unlocks which one. I definitely went into the chapter thinking I wasn't going to side with Bliss, but it ended up being that way anyway because I prefer the choices, so I think that's okay. Just try to... Yeah, oh god, there's a lot more here. We haven't even seen Power show up yet. Okay. Trusted hands. I knew I could trust Nora and Laszlo to find a lead. Polly's room. It's a nice place. A new day dawns. Consciousness returns slowly. and as I open my eyes, they feel like hot marbles rolling in their sockets. Yesterday was more intense than I imagined. Reconnecting with Laszlo took an emotional toll I'm not sure either of us was ready for. I checked the clock. Past 10. Late. 5 more minutes won't hurt. But as my eyes close, there's a flicker, and I'm back in reverie. I open them, and I'm at home, in bed. This is becoming intolerable. I wait a few moments to see if the sensation returns, but it leaves me be for now. Time to get up. When you look at the house on the outside, it doesn't seem that big. Or are the naiads
Are you sure you saw it in here?
a completely different building? I'm not sure.
Yes, it was by the sink. I was listening to my podcast.
Researching about the Oxyons, are you?
I'm sure there's a connection between them and Ursula and... Oh! Morning, sleepyhead.
Looks like the two of them have been up for a while. For Laszlo, that's not a surprise. But Nora's usually a night owl. Breakfast is all laid out. Banana crepes, hazelnut and sesame paste, fresh mango, my favorites.
How are you two this awake already?
Already? It's nearly lunch.
So only nearly lunch.
Grandpa, tell her!
Tell me what?
No, you do it.
We have a lead! On Ursula.
Oh? The next node's barrier was removed after you reached the last chapter's objective. I'm sorry, did that happen again? Did it skip twice? The other is forever inaccessible to me. Is it my spacebar being weird? I'll click. You might not see the consequences of an objective node until much later in the story. Okay. We can't really, if we can foresee it, cool. If we can't, that's fine. We'll just make choices. Oh my god. Dude, this is a long one this time. Alright. Okay. Alright. Someone in the crowd. You can only do this if Laszlo spoke openly about Ursula's disappearance, which I don't think... Yeah, that's the barrier. So this barrier is unlocked because Laszlo talked to Nora about their financial situation. It's hard to imagine what we might not have known, just judging based on one playthrough, but I can see that if we chose the other path, probably we would talk about my mom disappearing, but we wouldn't know that Laszlo was actually really tight on money. Which, in this case, this might be the better option then, because we already know that, mom being missing, she's missing. Sharing secrets, we can't choose here. It takes a few seconds for my mind to adjust to what I just heard. Laszlo, Nora, and I stayed up late chatting, just the 3 of us. And here I am, feeling hungover after only a few drinks. Oh, to be 20 again. No kidding.
I just remembered something. A girl who used to come here often before Ursula disappeared.
She came to meet with Ursula. Several times, in fact. I asked who she was, and your mother said she was a journalist, interested in publishing some of her poems.
Which is weird. Nobody publishes poetry nowadays.
Well, I don't know too much about it, but I imagine there's gotta be some... magazines? That publish that kind of thing?
I have to admit that Ursula hasn't sold a single text in decades.
Poetry's dead, I guess.
Anyway, I didn't push it. Assumed your mother would tell me the truth when she was ready. But then...
Then she disappeared off the face of the earth.
I mentioned her to Nora, but...
I don't follow the magazines around here. Not a big reader, unfortunately. But something about her sounded familiar, Grandpa actually gave a pretty detailed description.
She's pretty memorable.
At first, I was a bit puzzled, and then I remembered who it might be. Jade.
Okay.
Jade. Jade Galea?
I'm a little behind on Atenan politics, Nora.
Okay, fine. She's quite famous around here. She's organized a lot of protests.
Anti-Mona concern? Something shining in her eyes. A sense of joy? Excitement? Not sure exactly what, but it's nice to see.
I follow her on all the socials. We've never talked as such, but we have a bunch of mutuals. I sent her a message this morning, but no reply. But my friends, her friends, they'll know where she is, for sure.
We're sort of friends. We're Twitter friends. We never talk to each other, but we follow each other.
She's also the editor of a local magazine, probably where she was going to publish the poems. There's only one printer like that on Atina. The rest is controlled by MK. We could check there, see if they know where we could find her.
We've got options. That's a good start. A really good start. Causality. The lock symbol indicates that the node is locked. You need to reach the key that opens it. Seek for the icons on the augural. Select the node you want to play to find its key on the augural. Okay. So let's look at it. Jade's personal issues or Ursula and MK? Okay. I mean, between the two, I don't really care about Jade right now, because she's not my mom. I care more about Ursula and MK. But Jade has issues too. So, okay, let's say we want Ursula and MK. It means we have to do Jade's investigation. Which is... which one specifically? This one. Okay, easy enough. What does that say? Well, I don't know. Oh, it's coming up very, very briefly. Choose one node of the two next ones. Yeah, it's more simply put, if you want the left choice, do the left branch. If you want the right choice, do the right branch. Find Jade's friends. Nora won't have trouble asking them for info. Explore the printing room. So this will lead us to learn a little bit more about Jade. It might be a bit too narrow-sighted if I just go straight for Ursula and MK. Should I go look for Jade instead? What's happening here? Lose one bond crystal? Oh my god. Okay. And then... oops. Yeah, I'm wondering if it might be easier if I had a controller here. Hold on. Oh, never mind. I figured out how to move around freely. WASD? Alright, got you. Yeah, I don't know. Learning more about Jade. This side would be... we don't know what... this side is associated with Bond. This side is with... Bliss? Is it with Bliss? It's with Power, actually. Oh! So either way, you gotta do Bond or Power. There's no Bliss here. I guess I'll go for Bond then. Let's learn a bit... I'm gonna try to cast a wider net, so to say, by learning more about Jade, as opposed to going to... I mean, missing out on Ursula and MK though, that also seems like a bad move, but... okay. Let's see if this works. Castello Road. Ooh, very San Francisco-y. I reckon Jade's friends would be more likely to give us the info than her business associates.
Friends first.
Yes, yes, great, perfect.
And relying on the community, relying on bonds.
Come on, I know where they hang out.
Are they your friends as well?
No, not really. We have mutual friends. And some similar interests.
Good enough. Similar interests. I won't dig any deeper, but I'm curious. Doesn't take us long to find them. Nora beams and runs ahead. Someone in the group greets her warmly with hugs and hand slaps. Others nod in more distant recognition. They chat.
Weird, huh?
What's weird?
The fact that Nora is an individual person now. Not just a little kid. She has friends and places where she hangs out.
So we left a long time ago when Nora was still a very young teenager.
Ah, that feeling. A part of me is sad because I feel terribly old. But the rest of me is happy to see that Nora is her own human being now.
One of the people who seem to be Nora's own friends, casually offers her a cigarette. She slaps it away. I've never seen her move so fast. She almost manages to hide that panic glance at Laszlo first, too. Not quite, though. Laszlo grunts and I feel a smile at the corner of my lips. Not in front of the old man, at least. Yeah, was that a slapping away because she doesn't smoke and she's scared of her grandpa seeing it? Or is it because she does smoke and she doesn't want grandpa to know?
A human being who can make mistakes.
Sounds like she does smoke.
Yeah. And like every other human being, she can fix them.
Then she's back.
So, they're a bit suspicious. I'm not sure about what to do about that.
How should we approach this? That's the big question, Nora. And it's up to me to find the answer. We will tell Nora to act natural, or tell Nora to be assertive. You can only do the act natural one if you did a bond thing before. Which actually helps us reveal a note in the future as well. Except I can't. Hold on. If I click on it. What is it? Well, we have to do it first. Well, to reveal it. I think, yeah, acting natural, yeah. Let's not think so hard. No, that's the summary of what happened. Do this. Oh, but we can't do this. Oh, I see. We can't do it because we used the bond crystal somewhere along the way. I think maybe like earlier. So actually, we can only do this one. I see. Probably definitively the not as good one then. Let's try a more direct approach.
Be frank. Let's not beat around the bush.
Right.
She nods and heads off.
She's a good kid.
I nod. Nora comes back to us. She's smiling, but she seems a bit disappointed.
So?
So, they are extremely cool,
Yeah, I gathered.
but they haven't seen Jade in a while. Said she's not even online all that much these days. No posts, no replying to messages, that sort of thing. They were supposed to go to a protest yesterday and Jade didn't show,
She hasn't been arrested or anything, right?
which I guess is extremely unlike her.
Well, that doesn't sound like a coincidence.
Ursula?
Could be. But Ursula disappeared weeks ago.
They said the skate park was the best place to look for her.
That sounds like a start. Good job, Detective Nora.
Nora visibly cringes.
Too much.
Too much.
Next destination, the skate park. Yeah, that didn't seem like it went too well, but we couldn't have done the other one. Oh well. More info about Jade. Nora's about to say something, but what's that sound? Nora's just starting to say something when a buzzing stops her mid-word. A drone. It hovers directly above us, rotating slowly. Its little engine whines like a wounded animal as it moves back and forth. Having apparently decided we aren't a threat, it takes off, rising high over the city. Are you a delivery drone? Nora glances meaningfully at Laszlo.
Come on. You don't think it was here for us?
Polly,
It was just a patrol.
you've been gone a while? Things aren't like they used to be.
I guess not. I feel almost alien to my own island. You haven't been back for like 10 years.
Rule number 1 on a Tina: never say anything around a drone you wouldn't want recorded.
Damn things are everywhere these days. City sounds like a giant beehive.
Monoconzern owns this island, or they will. Control of everything: public services, advertising, even security. It's all theirs now.
Well then, might they have something to do with how Jade's suddenly keeping a low profile?
Absolutely, because she used to be a highly active protester.
Her friends don't think so. They said something about some personal issues. Nothing specific, though.
Okay, maybe let's not jump straight to Monoconcern kidnapping people yet. You've unlocked the node. You can access it normally now. That whole side, gone. See, this whole side, we had a power crystal. Maybe we could have unlocked something over here. I see. MK delivery drones have been used by Monoconcern since the 2020s and are the future of B2B and B2C. Business to business and business to consumer. These multi-purpose machines have seamlessly replaced cars and trucks on Athena. With thousands of units in flight daily, drones are now an integral part of life on Athena. An omnipresent sight that buzzes night and day. They help workers with their daily tasks. Their cameras and microphones allow Monoconcern to monitor the well-being of the people of Athena and deliver crucial messages in case of emergency. Go, drones! Remember, Monoconcern wrote this one. Don't trust anything they say. Well, that's all we got. I gotta get used to seeing the little bottom part. The bottom part is the barrier. As we walk through the bustling city, Lazo decides it's time for a short break. He halts, leaning up against a railing in thought.
Personal issues. Well, these days that could mean a lot. Money, relationships, politics. Too vague. Nothing to work with. You ask me, though, that damn company's involved somehow. They always are when things go tits up. Jade seems to be well known, respected even. No way they don't know about her. To be as young as her, carrying all that weight, I'd probably want to escape the limelight from time to time, too.
I can't help but feel moved by his comment. I'm older than Jade, and what did I do? I left the island.
I can't imagine either.
I shake my head. Let's not get sidetracked. I need to focus on the issue at hand.
What about Ursula? Do you think MK is interested in her, too?
I can't see why they would be. What would they want with a poet?
Unless if she wasn't just a poet.
What if?
An idea is forming. A thought. A little bubble that could, maybe, change the course of this.
What if they weren't interested in her? What if she was with them?
Whoa.
She would have said something. Or, well, or not, if it was risky for us.
Back in Act 1, when Nora asked me, should I apply for Monoconcern? She said that Ursula was very much against it. So I would have thought she would be very, that would mean that she personally is very against the company too, but maybe not?
I don't like where this is going, but...
He wipes his sweaty forehead and pushes himself away from the railing.
First, the skate park.
Feel like we are getting a little bit carried away though, because we're not even learning about Ursula right now anymore. We're focusing on Jade. Oh, and then here you just lose both of the... Whatever crystals you have, you're losing it. This is more directly about Ursula, but learning about Jade, maybe later on it'll be better. Better? It'll be different. Nodes can also make you lose crystals when you reach them. This node will make you lose 1 bond crystal and 1 power crystal. If you only have 0, you can't lose any more. Oh, it's beautiful here. Oh, that's my house, right on the edge. And then, the naiads. So my room it's not the same building. We head to the skate park. The streets are quieter now, with the rush hour long since over. A stray dog trots alongside us for a moment, sniffs my hand, then wanders off. Jade is a long shot, but she's our only shot. Besides, Laszlo claims he has a plan.
All right, out with it then.
Posters.
Posters. Of Ursula.
Exactly.
Wow, that's the first time we've seen what my mom looks like.
Look, your mother may not be the best-known woman on this island, but she has connections. Hell, the Naiads is basically a community center, and everyone at the bar knows her. We get her face up everywhere, tell people to contact us. We're bound to get something back.
Nora and I share a glance. This feels good. It could work.
And if we do find this Jade, well, we could run an ad in that magazine of hers.
Use her network to spread the word even further.
Exactly.
That sounds like a pretty good way to piss off MK.
Yeah. But Jade's our best chance. If we get close to her, we get closer to MK as well.
The more we learn, the more Ursula's disappearance becomes shrouded in mystery. Was it really the result of politics? Did she get herself into something she couldn't get out of? And is creating a public scandal really the best way to find our answers? Local poet disappears, MK does nothing. They won't say or do anything. They're already getting away with much, much worse.
Eyes on the prize.
Hey, haven't seen you in a while.
You're getting closer, right? You're making moves.
Something like that. Yes, maybe Nora and Lazo are right. Maybe this will work out.
Keep that momentum going. Reverie still needs you.
Yeah, remember, if I don't find my mom, Reverie's gonna fall apart and blow up. Bliss suddenly becomes absorbed in her handheld console, focused on mashing 2 specific buttons as fast as possible. This glimpse of her undivided concentration is impressive, but it doesn't seem to be going as she planned.
No! Ugh. Can you try to wrap it up before I rage quit this game?
Bliss must know that I can't answer right now.
Also, you didn't hear this from me, but Power's getting all ceremonial about the truth situation.
What's the truth situation? I'd like to ask what that even means, but I can't. And anyway, she's already gone. Right. So, Jade. When we get to the skate park, how should we approach her? Hey Jade! You know my mom? Where is she? Try to befriend her or keep it straightforward. So this, keep it straightforward, will unlock take the lead. How far can we see? We can't see this side. We can see more on this side. Nora gets impatient. Ooh, that doesn't sound like a good one. This node is inevitable. It must be played to unlock other nodes. Oh. No matter what happens, Nora's gonna get impatient. And we can't stop it. There's nothing we can do to stop it. Okay. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. Power. I'm not very much a power person. I don't like strong-arming people. Well, let's try to befriend her. Especially if I say that I'm Ursula's daughter. Amadia's skate park. We arrive at the skate park and my heart sinks. It's deserted, not a single soul in sight. I'm about to suggest we come back later when I hear a squeak from Nora. It's Jade, appearing from behind a half pipe. Time for a charm offensive.
Ah, Jade?
The young woman's guard is immediately up. No doubt she's used to being recognized and suspicious of who we might be.
Can I help you?
My name's Polly. This is Laszlo and Nora.
Oh, she's young.
Hey.
I think you know my mother. Ursula?
From the Naiads? Your mum, is she? Funny how we studied her poetry at school. At uni, even.
Oh.
You have no idea. We wanted to speak to you because we thought you could help us with... She vanished, my mother, a few days ago. And we thought maybe you could help.
She doesn't look like she runs a magazine. Jade turns to look out over the ocean. She shifts a little, readjusts her stance. Thinking.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She sounds genuine, almost shocked. Her demeanor has changed slightly. Yeah, the way she said that sounded very much maybe like she wants to help but she can't because why? She's being watched right now. For some reason she can't do too much. She can't post online. She's not going to her protests anymore.
We wondered if anything you could tell us. Anything at all.
That would mean the world to us.
I shoot Nora a look. Calm down. We don't want to scare her off. Jade maintains her silence. Suddenly, she turns away from the view and looks me straight in the eye.
When did she disappear, exactly? What was she like the day before? Was she acting strange?
This isn't the passionate Jade I've heard about. She feels cold, analytical. The opposite of the energetic, driven firestarter I'd imagined.
Look, I'm sorry to press you on this. I really am. But we really need to know if you two were planning anything.
If they were, they might not be inclined to tell you.
Beyond the poetry.
She moves closer, and she's still not answering.
Did she mention anything about a meeting? with someone you'd never heard of. Was anything missing with her? A suitcase, clothing, money?
Are you looking for her too? Does she owe you money? I'm just a bit concerned. Clearly, the charm offensive failed. Despite the increasing tension, I'm a little sad. I used to be better at putting people at ease. Time for a different tack. Inevitably, Nora gets impatient. This one will only activate if you collect a bliss crystal. Oh, which I don't have. Wait, so does that mean that I don't have to activate it then? Because I don't have a bliss crystal. Yeah, oh! That's good. That's good. Nora doesn't get impatient. Calm down. Ooh. So definitely don't try to yeah. Good thing we didn't use bliss all the time, huh? Amadia Skate Park. Built decades ago and is the only park of its kind on Athena. It's always been and it still is a place of joy for Alma's youth. In the mid-10s, Mona Concern tried to buy this aging piece of architecture from the municipality, offering to modernize the facilities. When this offer was met with contempt by the local community, the corporation eventually agreed to leave it untouched. Since this unfortunate incident, Amadias has become a symbol of anti-Mona Concern activism. Did Mona Concern write this one? Doesn't seem like it. The Shed. Originally built as an elevator to bring materials to the Naiads, this building has endured. Its structure has changed a lot over the years, growing from a simple shack to a proper house. My house now. It is infamous for being a potential hazard, extending over the sea unlike other buildings on Athena. But somehow it became a part of the local folklore. Eventually, City Council gave up on trying to close it down. To this day, it's one of Alma's quirkiest sites. We're a tourist attraction. Alright, let's see. So we don't have to get impatient. Interrupt Jade. Answer Jade's questions. She's very analytical and cold right now. Interrupting her. If we interrupt her. Okay, the next one is trusting Jade. Wait, try to befriend. Okay, so just the act of trying to befriend Jade, we've already unlocked the ability to trust her. So that's good. Oh, but we can't do this one. We can't take the lead because we didn't keep it straightforward. In that case... Let's put a, I don't want to be too passive. Let's try to interrupt her a little bit. If you want answers to those questions, do you mind telling me why you're asking them first? Jade's firing a non-stop barrage of questions at me. It's overwhelming. I can't even listen as they fly past. I don't know what to do. I feel panic gathering below my stomach.
Pardon me, Miss Jade. I'm wondering if you could, pause the questions for a moment, please?
Oh, Laszlo. Thank goodness for Laszlo. Jade falls silent. She takes a step back, arms still folded high across her chest. Not hostile, but not open either.
We'd be more than happy to talk to you, but we need some context first.
Exactly.
For example, were you interviewing Ursula at the Naiads?
Yes, I can tell you that much, I guess.
Okay. Ha, great. Now we're getting somewhere. We were really wondering if you could help us spread the word through your magazine?
Wait, hold on. Maybe she knows more. Don't jump straight to the magazine ad.
Get the word out that she's missing.
I'm sorry, Laszlo, was it? I really don't think that's a good idea.
I'm inclined to agree with Jade. Making lots of noise about the whole situation is a recipe for attention from MK. Attention we absolutely do not want. Nora suspiciously quiet, her face turned down and frowning. As I suspected, she's disappointed with the real Jade's behavior and the disparities between person and persona. Oh, I was leaning towards thinking that something happened to her, and that's why she's keeping quiet and being analytical and cold, but maybe she just seems really excitable online, but in reality, she's not like that. Yeah, people will type lol, but how many people are actually laughing out loud? Same thing.
We know you're busy. We've seen your stuff. The anti-MK stuff. We're on board with that. Believe us.
I still think something happened though, because they did say that Jade suddenly stopped going online recently. So something must have happened to make her stop.
And we know how hard it must be. Fighting the good fight. But if you can spare us even a little time to help us find my mother, well, it would mean a lot. To all of us.
The exhaustion radiating from the young woman before us is becoming increasingly apparent. Her shoulders sag, and she lifts her palms through her brow, rubbing life back into her face. She almost looks ashamed.
What did you have in mind?
Hey, we got her. Seems like she's opening up a little bit. We don't need to do that. Let's trust her. I try again with our questions. What did Jade know? Why were they meeting?
Fine. I was doing another investigation into MK, and Ursula was helping. We believe the company was dipping its toes into medical care or a public health program. A couple of neighborhood kids said an MK agent offered them coupons and free samples. Said it was to test a new product line.
That sounds like free guinea pig lab testing.
They call it egregore. They claimed
She sighs, rubs her forehead.
it was going to help with exams, stress, clarity of mind and all that.
Have you heard about this, Nora? Clarity of the mind? Sounds like something out of Reverie, to be honest. But how?
That's all I know.
That might have to do with my mother then, because she was the last harmony on all that. Oh, I know why she turned to Ursula.
Wait. You contacted my mother because of her work on the Oxyons, on the history of Athena, right?
I only found her stuff by chance. Sounds like MK tried to have it burned, but a few copies survived. That was the only other reference to egregore I ever found.
Silence descends as we attempt to unravel these revelations. Sounds like this goes far deeper than we thought, but everything we've learned so far is circumstantial, just guesswork. Lazo's not taking the additional MK factor well. Neither is Nora, who looks dumbstruck. Has MK done something to my mother? Oxyons? I don't think we've gotten a codex entry for that yet. I don't know what that is. Egregore. I think that one has come up before. Egregore. Funny how the inevitable one actually isn't inevitable. Fantastic. Ask Jade to use her network, or talk about printing posters. Oh, we can... Wait. Printing posters is something we can do. It might attract attention, not sure we want to do that. You want to find your mom, don't you? Come on, Jade, help us. Help us. Can you? Oh, wait. Is the inevitable happening now? Oh, because we gained a bliss crystal from doing the previous choice, I think. Oh, I thought it only works if we go like that. But even here, if we get a bliss crystal, then it activates again too. Are you serious? That's insane. Oh damn, then that puts us right back on the other side then, which might end up going with us. Okay, I see. Oh wow, we have to be... Earlier, we didn't have to do it because we didn't have the bliss crystal. I wish I could see these choices again. How many crystals it gave me? Because I'm pretty sure the one that we just did gave us one, right? And that's what triggered it into activating like that. Oh no. Oh no. Now we're gonna get pushed down this route. Dang it! Dang it! This is probably gonna lead to us... Oh, Nora. From the corner of my eye, I can see Nora standing frozen. Her usual electric visioning has stilled. Jade's up close now, arms crossed, straight-backed, every bit the investigative journalist. This isn't the badass Nora expected. As Jade continues to hammer questions at us, I see Nora's shoulders set, her face turned down. She's not just disappointed, she's getting defensive. I don't really blame her, but this is a delicate conversation. Can we risk her getting on edge? I mean, I don't want her to be impatient, but she's getting it. Oh, no. No. So we could have had a more calm conversation, but that's gone now. Is it gone? Hold on, can we go back here? Actually, how does the jumping work? Sorry, I'm still getting used to the controls here. These are all inevitable, right? Because they have that little swirly on them. So no, we can't go back here, I'm pretty... Oh! Okay. Jade seems more engaged now, her body language less hostile, her expression more responsive. I'll let her speak. Yeah, the inevitable line just seems very... I didn't really get to look at what it was, but if it's inevitable, it just seems like...
I'm not one for betting, but if I were, I'd bet this whole island that MK has their fingers in this pie.
Maybe you could...
Use your network to help us?
Nora said you had a huge following. Online?
Did she?
Nora's enjoying this. I can tell.
Well, I wouldn't say huge. Sizable, though, yeah.
Nora's enjoying this? Jade should be enjoying it.
Could you put the word out? Through the networks? Someone might know something. Might have seen something.
Could you please ask your Twitter follower networks if they've seen my mother?
My mother wasn't exactly an unknown quantity in Alma. Maybe someone saw her leave?
Jade immediately looks away, refusing to meet any of our eyes.
Well, that's tricky, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah, those networks. They're the lifeblood of Atina's resistance. If I go making them a fact-finding posse, well, MK's gonna shut that down quick as you like.
That's an excuse if I've ever heard one. She doesn't want to get involved. Well, it's none of her business directly, right? So I guess that's understandable. Okay, so I'm actually... Maybe I still don't fully understand how this works. Because I thought that we had to do these ones. Yeah, it must be played to unlock other nodes. It seems like we can go over here, though. Yeah. Oh, come on, Jade. Inevitable, Nora loses her cool. Well, I'm gonna keep ignoring it for now, then. Approve Laszlo's plan. You didn't give him a chance to fully explain himself. He won't talk now. Laszlo? He didn't say anything, except for telling Jade to shut up. Listen to Jade's plan. She won't talk now. You kept trying to push your own agenda. What? So, is this Bliss commenting on what I'm about to choose? We can do both of these because we have one power crystal and we have one bliss crystal. Back over here. Shush, Nora. Let Nora speak. Jade offers her help. Jade's confession. See, this one could be interesting too. 3 bond crystals, which I don't have. I cannot have because... Yeah, I get 1 more here. That's only 2, so that's locked out. Okay, this tree is actually quite complicated. I'm not sure if I'm fully getting the hang of trying to unlock all these. Like, if I want a certain choice, like really, we really should be, every time we go into a tree inaugural, maybe we should be starting from the end. What do we want to see at the end? And then we work towards it by looking at the crystals, is one way to play. Another way to play is ignore it and just play the choice that we want to play and see what happens, right? But by doing that, you might end up in a situation where you see a choice that you really want to make by the end, but you can't make it because you didn't follow the requirements to get to it. Create a public scandal. Jade has a plan? She doesn't even want to get involved though. Laszlo's plan. I'm not sure. I'm actually kind of curious about the Jade confession thing too, which is why I'm hesitating a bit. Let's actually, can we go back here? We can jump like that? Is that a thing? No, this is locked. Hold up. Oh, is it because we didn't actually... Did we actually play this one already? Right, it didn't happen yet, right? For the ones that happened, we have the summary. So this one, actually, Nora losing her cool hasn't happened yet. I thought it happened already because earlier she was getting a bit antsy. Nora strides forward.
Enough, alright, enough!
Uh-oh.
We've been going out of our minds with worry for days. We heard you might be the sort of person who'd want to help. Help when people are lost.
Ooh, good job, Nora. This might work.
But you're just digging for details. Is the story all you care about? We don't need that. Come on, Paul. If she's not gonna help us, we'll find someone who will.
Jade's a stranger to us and a journalist to boot. A hardened shell is practically a job requirement. But Nora's words have caught her off guard. She steps back, arms hanging loose at her side. Right. I wasn't... This tree takes a little bit for me to understand fully, but I think we're on the right track now, because Nora bursting like that is making Jade change a little bit, because up until then, Jade was like, I'm not gonna help you, whatever. I have a lot of Twitter followers, but I'm not gonna use them. Bliss says, don't let Nora upset Jade. Bond says, you may want to respect the emotions Nora's feeling. I will. I will because I want to... Ooh. Okay, hold up. We need to look at the end a little bit here. I want to hear what Jade has to confess, but the thing next to it is Jade offers her help. Ooh. So this isn't linear. We were jumping back and forth between the trees. Oh man, okay. Hold up. Let's keep it secret. Persuade Jade to network. Create a public scandal. I would prefer the network. The bonds of people. Ooh, that's gonna be 10 bond crystals by the end there. Which is not... Yeah, it's, well, we'll see, right? Because right now, the act overview, we have more bliss crystals. But this is gonna push us over to something a little bit more. I would prefer the network option if I just look at the option here. So if I want to get to that, I have to pick the option that gives me a bond crystal. Yeah, so I gotta go let Nora speak and then Jade's confession, which means I lose her help, or she doesn't offer, but by the end, she does network, right? Maybe that's what happens. Let's see if this goes the way I'm thinking, because I gotta get used to this tree a bit here. It's clear Nora has more to say, so I keep quiet. We've all been through the ringer lately. This might help her relieve some pressure.
I knew I shouldn't have gotten so hyped. But who you are, what you do, you seem to be doing so much good around here. I really don't have words for it, so I thought... But I understand. I'm in no position to ask for more. Let's go.
When they said she's a protester, I thought she was... Yeah, she's a journalist more than a protester. You can't really be both, can you? A journalist is supposed to be a more neutral position.
Nora.
Jade's eyes have misted over. There are tears there, welling up at the edges.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to... Oh, hell,
It's okay. It is. Don't worry about it.
The hard edge has evaporated almost completely. Jade wipes her eyes, then her nose.
The last few days, they've been a lot. Like, a lot. The last few months, even. Harder than anything I could ever imagine.
What happened? She looks up, trying to force her tears back down. What happened, Jade? Yes, see, Nora gave you an opportunity to learn more about Jade. Both of them are unlocked to us. We have 3 bliss and 3 bond. I would rather hear... Okay, The secret that Jade holds right now is something that we might want to ask her to keep secret. Like, she's dealing with her own stuff, and I'm asking her, hey, but I don't have time to worry about your stuff. Can you help me with my stuff? That also seems kind of... So if I pick Jade confesses to me, I'll get more bond crystals, but I'll lose bliss crystals. If I lose bliss crystals, so if I hear her confession, it means that I will not be able to tell her to keep it a secret. Okay, I want to hear her confession. It's, because I'm still leaning towards the please help me network thing.
I'm sorry. Really. That was rude of me. Disrespectful. Not my intention.
No, please. It's all right. Really.
I've spent the last weeks, months actually, digging into MK's plan for this place, and I just can't take it anymore. They own everything. The systems, the records, the security. They roll over the vulnerable and suck up every resource they can. It's heinous. It's unfair. And I can't do anything to stop it. And no one gives a shit. Feels like it's just me out here sometimes, you know?
Her voice is tired. Her gaze evades ours. Even her hand gestures are wary. Jade's exhausted beyond imagination.
And I know that's not true, but it feels like it. I have people with me, sure. Friends, comrades, but it never stops. Now Ursula and... Yeah, it's all gotten a little much.
I'm sorry too.
For a moment, I wonder if Nora might hug Jade, near a stranger or not. From the way her arms lift, it looks like she wants to.
Guess I didn't realize I was so angry about everything. I think I'd feel the same in your shoes.
Jade actually smiles.
Thanks. It's just like...
But the smile goes away after a second.
I'd like to help if I can. I don't know if I'm good for anything at the moment.
Burnout's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, you could say that.
I thought she had a deep, dark secret. No, she's just burnt out. That's pretty much... I mean, she's not just burnt out. That's a serious thing. Okay, so we're nearing the end choice here. Between these three, just based off the words, create a public scandal paints a really big target on our own back, which I'm kind of hesitant about, so I would prefer to do Bond. Jade's mouth tightens. She's made a decision.
All right, I'll hit up my network.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's still risky, but it's not like shouting the search from the rooftops. No offense.
None taken.
If MK cotton's on, we've got a better chance of containing it if we know who knows what. It's our best option. For sure.
She looks at Nora and smiles warmly. Nora smiles back. Sounds like we have a plan. Okay, fantastic. In this case, Nora getting impatient wasn't a bad thing. We gotta look a little bit further ahead to see. Okay. And we went from having a lot of bliss crystals to having a lot of bond crystals in one go. Jade has more to say, especially to Nora. As it turns out, Jade lives near the Naiads, so we agree to walk back together. For the first time, I notice what a beautiful day it is. The sun warming my skin, the breeze flicking at loose strands of my hair. We meander through Alma, the four of us. It feels almost tranquil.
It's not easy for someone to go missing on this island. Everyone knows everyone and everything. Alma's a small world. A tight-knit community. You'll find her. Problem is, you've got MK between where you are now and where you want to be. No way you're avoiding a tussle.
When I left Athena, mono concern was background noise. just a detail in our lives. Now they're a juggernaut, unchallenged, inescapable. I've realized I'm angry. Resentment burns in me each and every time I hear that name. We turn a corner, and the Naiads floats into view. Nora crosses a path to walk alongside Jade.
Didn't mention it before, but I think I was approached by those MK goons you mentioned. The public health project guys.
Yeah, they were the one who gave you that. You were like a guinea pig on that project, right? Yes, contacted for monoconcern health experiments. That's different from the job thing.
Shit. Egregore and everything.
Yeah.
Was this the job she told me about?
Listen.
Oh, I guess it was.
You didn't ask for it, but here's my advice. You see them coming again, you run. Or tell them to fuck off, or scream at them, or whatever. But do not take their money, Nora.
But they're broke. They're broke right now. Okay, so I thought this was a job. The job and the health experiments are the same thing? I was led to believe last time it was different. Because a job is not the same as being contacted for a health experiment. Right? That's not a job. That's you sitting there, them doing something to you. A job is you do something. Uh-oh.
I'm serious.
No, yeah, I wasn't going to.
I've heard rumors. People who came back the very opposite of healthy. And ones who never came back at all.
If it's that kind of thing, definitely don't do it. If it was a job, I would tell you to go do it, get the money, whatever, but not the experiment.
There have been other disappearances?
Hard to tell. People go missing all the time. Especially the ones society pushes to its edge.
I can tell Jade's trying to sound reasonable. She's had to deal with so much.
Sometimes they just move on. Change cities. There are rarely any records. But recently, a lot more people than normal have gone away. And most haven't come back.
I definitely get the impression that everyone is very angry at monoconcern already. Even Polly's monologue, her inner monologue says that. But judging by what we've seen so far, what we've actually seen, the only thing monoconcern has done is the drone walked by, we were afraid to speak, and that was pretty much it. Everything else, below the surface.
But the ones who did come back?
Said they were given this egregore stuff. Pills or injections. And that was it. Some got sick, others were fine. But no clarity of mind business.
Could this be the moment to tell the truth? No, not yet. Reverie's my burden to bear, for now. Egregore was that thing... Was that the name of the texture of dreams and energy that flows freely between worlds. Yeah, this is from the other world. The Reverie hasn't really come up again since we've been back. But somehow monoconcern has gotten their hands on it and they're handing the egregore out. I've got a very bad feeling, probably has to do with my mother, because she was the Harmony, the previous Harmony. So she would have access to this, and then this being taken out of Reverie might be why the place is breaking down. It holds an infinite amount of possibilities. Everything and nothing at the same time. Lethal in large quantities. And how do I bring up the aspirations without sounding like I'm having a stroke?
And bear that burden you shall.
Hi.
You must.
I try to ignore Power's voice. I don't want to start acting weird and lose what little trust we've built with Jade. They're eavesdropping on me, in my head. Not far now. Jade gives us a nod and a wave as she heads into her building. As we turn to leave, Bliss appears alongside me. I smile at Nora and Lazo as we walk along in companionable silence, and Bliss laughs.
Someone's been busy. Well, guess what? We've been busy too. You're not the only bunch investigating. Bond and Power and I have news.
Truth still clings to life, but they are beyond our reach alone.
Oh, was Truth dying?
Even our own ties have been severed. But we are close. So very close.
Our world does not cease to be when you are not viewing it. It is imperative that you stabilize your home front quickly so that you may assist us in Reverie. Do whatever you must.
I'm trying.
We know. So, here's the plan. We can clear the way to Truth Sanctuary, but after that, we'll have to summon you. Be ready.
You're gonna summon me, so I'll just, like, depart my body here? Okay. That is it. End of chapter. I thought we were gonna go with Bliss. No. Bond wins out in the end. You've reached the end of an act. It's time for you to choose an outcome. The Bond outcome is the same as the Power outcome. Only the ones you've unlocked with crystals you've gathered are available. Close the tutorial and play on the outcome you want to play. Click on the outcome. There's only one proper way to bring an aspiration back to life. Well, guess you're too grown up to have any fun. Sorry, I didn't get enough. I guess that's Bliss's reaction to me not having enough crystals for her, is what she's saying. Okay, I don't have a choice. Are you summoning me now? Hold up. Bond is here. So's Power.
Welcome to the domain of truth.
Someone worked hard to keep us from entering. But together, Power and I, we found a way inside.
Come, let's get this over with.
I'm surprised to find a cave, cold and damp. It's not at all where I imagined the aspiration of truth would reside. Empty walls, clear water, an unfillable void. It could be how they picture facts and accuracy. Cold. Solid. Bond and Power survey our surroundings. Their eyes are alert, but they seem relieved.
There.
I see truth. There in the center. They're broken, shattered. I move closer, my footsteps echoing in the void without dying entirely. Even sound can't hide in here.
Come, Power. Let us proceed.
Can't hide from the truth.
Agreed.
To my surprise, the two of them join hands. Bond begins to sway a beat I can't hear. Power joins a moment later. Soon, the sway has become a foot-pounding, heart-shaking dance. Do I hear drums? In the distance? The dance quickens, the movement of limbs blurring until the two aspirations are almost indistinguishable from each other. The drum grows louder, joined by a chanting that seems to come from the empty air just over my shoulder. Egregore picks up the broken shards of truth in a kaleidoscopic whirlwind of color and substance.
It's working. Keep your distance. This may be...
A new sound emerges. A low vibration. A hum coming from... the statue itself. Truth? Bliss is home. We didn't take her this time. Who is that? Other people. And that is the end of Act 1. A bit of a cliffhanger, I'm sorry, but it looks like we found truth and things are moving forward in the Reverie world as well. Yeah, so the Jade conversation is what I was really interested in showing off here. Because in my first look initially, we spent a lot of time being given a lot of brand new information and jargon and just terminology, learning about the world and stuff. Whereas the conversation with Jade is where it really started showing that just because we have the power to see into the future doesn't mean that we can manipulate everything like the way we want it to. There are quite a bit of different factors that are competing for your priority in terms of what choice you ultimately make, because sometimes if you want to get to a specific outcome, you might have to make an immediate choice that isn't the one that you want to immediately make. And the way the crystal stuff works is really more like a strategy game. I'm recording this part after I've edited the part with the Jade conversation, and I understand what happened with the tree now, but while I was playing, it was definitely like, if you weren't paying attention to what you were doing, specifically in terms of what crystals you were getting, you would accidentally activate things that you didn't mean to. Like getting a bliss crystal means that Nora gets impatient. Getting another bliss crystal means that Nora loses her cool, and then suddenly the conversation feels like it's out of your control. Not to mention the heading, Nora loses her cool. When you look at that, it feels like it's something that you want to avoid, but in the end, it actually turned out to be a good thing because Nora getting mad is what made Jade open up. So this is quite a unique and bespoke choice system that I think is trying to drive home the point that, yeah, you can see the future, but a lot of different things are tugging at you. Can you really get to where you want to be in the end? Story-wise, I think the relationships, the various relations between the characters right now is the highlight. I do want to find my mom, and I do care about Laszlo and Nora, and I feel for them and all that, but the setting that we're in, Athena, Reverie, they're both still kind of vague to me right now, and I'm not fully convinced, especially because a lot of the information has been tucked away in codex entries. And the one damning thing that I already mentioned earlier is how everyone really hates Monoconcern right now, but I don't feel a sufficient reason to hate it yet based on what I've seen. I get that I'm supposed to think it's super mega evil, but what have they done that is super mega evil that I've seen myself? As opposed to someone on the streets telling me, hey, Monoconcern is conducting health experiments. Have I seen a person that's actually been affected by this yet? So it feels a bit like we're getting secondhand information from this person and that person, but not experiencing things directly yet. Yeah, as far as visual novels go though, I think the presentation is really pretty. Like I mentioned, they even take care to change up the colors and character sprites if it's nighttime and daytime, and the little animations and stuff. For a visual novel, I feel like I would have been happy with static sprites as long as the story is, it's the main meat of the thing here. But they do go above and beyond in that aspect, and the presentation looks really good. The voice acting is really excellent too. I wish Polly's inner monologue was also voice acted, if not for my own throat, because it gets a bit hard to commentate if I'm focusing on reading the dialogue to begin with. So yeah, I think there are definitely things that I like, but also parts about this that I'm a bit shaky on. But either way, I do feel like this extended first look is a more accurate representation of Harmony the Fall of Reverie. Do feel free to let me know what you think in the comments below. And I guess that's it. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you all later. Bye!